Hello, we're the PNC Newsgirls, Mia
and Maya, reading the news 6 days a week because you're too lazy.
Wednesday, September 6th, 2023.
Okay, got another really long one today! Anyways. For as a Christian, I have also a duty to my own people. And when I look on my people, I see it work and toil and labor, and at the end of the week, it has only for its wage, wretchedness and misery. What is this guy? Oh.
Poor translation, maybe?
Yeah, I'm thinking that's poor translation, because that's just not grammaring. Anyways. When I go out in the morning and see these men standing in their queues, and look into their pinched faces, then I believe I would be no Christian, but a very devil, if I felt no pity for them. If I did not, as our Lord 2,000 years ago, turn against those by whom today this poor people is plundered and exploited. Adolf Hitler.
Alright.
Also, I might just be stupid, but I did not know Adolf Hitler was a Christian.
Alright then, quick off! Exclusive FBI lies about highly credible source claims were leaked to NYT and spoofed to West. Emails obtained by the Heritage Foundation following...
What were you saying? Spoofed? Spoon-fed.
I'm done with life. I'm done with English. Spoon-fed to West. Emails obtained by the Heritage Foundation following a Freedom of Information Act (FOIA) lawsuit and shared exclusively with the Federalist reveal that lies leaked to the New York Times about the origins of ruining evidence implicated Hunter and Joe Biden in a bribery scandal were fed to Delaware U.S. Attorney David West.
Billionaire oligarch? I don't know how you say that. Oligarch. George Soros Fund claims it bought Polish media outlet to stop oligarchs, from controlling media. George Soros' fund recently bought a major stake in Polish media publisher Remi Media, leaving Polish... is that conservatism? I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Okay. Conservatives criticized the move as national elections gear up in October. However, the fund justified its move in a statement by claiming it bought the media to stop oligarchs from buying up independent media.
Okay, West using Zelensky's Jewish heritage to distract from Nazism in Ukraine. Putin. Using Vladimir Zelensky's Jewish heritage to cover for the culpability of Ukrainian nationalists in the Holocaust during World War II is disgusting. Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Tuesday, adding that the followers of Stephen Bandera were responsible for the killing of 1.5 million Jews.
Okay then. British woman says, oh great. Gang raped by Israelis after being kidnapped in Cyprus. Okay. Meanwhile, the Israeli I'm dying. Israeli ministry said officials are in touch with Cypriot authorities as well as with families of the detained Israelis. Alright, full column.
Musk versus the demon. Putting aside the grotesque corruption of the American legal system, there is the mafia and the foreign player issue. The ADL operates like other organized crime groups. There is intimidation of government officials. As a way to avoid the law, they have their tentacles wrapped around the state and federal government agencies. Getting lawyers to take the case, much less getting a judge to hear it, is an enormous hurdle for Musk.
Canon, they are now octopus. Because they have tentacles, apparently. Maybe they're krakens. That'd be cooler.
Oh, yeah.
Krakens are cool. Krakens, yeah. You know, krakens? Are krakens like... So I've seen, like, pictures of, like, fan-made images of...
Yeah.
People made images of krakens, right? Yeah. And they're, like, holding, like, ships, like a toy boat. But, like, are they holding full-size, like, big pirate-looking ships?
Yeah.
Because it's
full-size big ships.
That is too big to comprehend easily.
That's why they put the ship there. Otherwise, you wouldn't fully comprehend how big it is.
I still can't really.
Anyway.
It's like, how could something that big even
from
be
news
there?
to Krakens.
Well, Krakens are cooler. News is kind of boring. But Krakens burns. Should probably continue.
Yeah.
Okay. How the government weaponizes surveillance to silence its critics. Ever since Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his groundbreaking "I Have a Dream" speech during the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom on August 28, 1963, the deep state has been hard at work turning King's dream into a living nightmare. The end result of the government's efforts over the past 60 years is a country where nothing ever really changes and everyone lives in fear.
Alright. Trump demands vax companies release safety data. Former President Donald Trump has called on pharmaceutical companies to release their safety data for COVID-19 vaccines, stating, if they have facts, they should be made public immediately. People should understand that they should know what the research is showing and what fact-finding is.
Yeah. COVID warlord Anthony Fauci jibber-jabbers incoherently about forced masking on CNN. Okay. For the record, masks do not work in the real world. There is objective evidence to this effect from reputable medical journals, as well as evidence of their many harms. But warlord Fauci isn't one to let science get in the way of the science TM. What?
Oh my gosh, there's a cat scratching the floor.
Bring a cat in here and he scratches the floor.
Sorry, that is a floor.
It's not a scratching post, that is a floor.
Yeah, it's not too scratched, it's good. He didn't actually do any damage because he's got tiny baby claws. Little needles. Okay, Georgia Attorney General charges 61 Cop City protesters with racketeering. The indictment alleges that the defendants are militant anarchists who have...
I'm gonna Google that word. I think we've seen it a few times and we don't know what it is. I'm gonna Google it.
Militant?
Yes.
Okay. Combative and aggressive in support of political or social cause.
Typically favoring extreme violent or confrontational methods.
Okay.
So like
protesters? So extremists.
Okay, extremists.
Who have supported a violent movement stretching back to the racial justice protests in 2020. All 61 defendants have been charged under Georgia's Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, commonly known as RICO.
Okay. Biden built predictable loophole that resulted in a flood of illegal family units into U.S. What? Why did... There's literally 3 words in a row with no spaces. It's notwithstanding... Is it withstand... Oh no, it's just withstanding. Okay, that's not with then standing. It's just notwithstanding, but in one word, so it's notwithstanding.
Okay.
Because nobody reads these things over.
Nobody.
Notwithstanding the administration's claim that they are refusing to consider asylum claims for people encountered between ports of entry, the rule they adopted has huge loopholes. Among those explicitly exempted? What? Exempted? Okay. Are family units, said Ira Mehlam, a spokesperson for the Federation for American Immigration Reform, FAIR, in a Friday statement to Just the News.
Okay. Canadian teacher oh my gosh, I hate my lip. Canadian teacher ditches Z-cup breasts, raising questions on if Get Up was a hoax. Lemmings has been showing up to Nora Francis Henderson Secondary School in Hamilton, Ontario, dressed as a man just days before classes are set to begin, leaving many wondering if the stunt he pulled last year was all a hoax.
Z-cup?
Yeah. I saw like a video of it. It's nightmarishly insane.
Oh no.
It's worse than anime.
Oh no! How?
Anyways, monkey column.
Central African bloc suspends Gabon over coup. The Central African Regional Bloc, known as ECCAS, has announced the suspension of... Is that a name?
What?
Gabon?
I don't know.
Just weird. Gabon's membership. This development comes as General Bryce Oligui was sworn in as the traditional president on Monday, consolidating his grip on power. This dude's got a weird name.
Sudan, as fighting continues, aid cannot be delivered. Fighting continued on Monday in the Sudanese capital, Khartoum. The surrounding areas between the army and the Rapid Support Forces (RSF) militia, causing the humanitarian situation to deteriorate further. More than half of the population needs humanitarian aid, while aid organizations eliminate that 6 million people are on the brink of starvation, but aid cannot get through to those in need because of the fighting.
Okay. Cops let suspect walk in heinous, caught on camera, New York City subway beating up a 60-year-old woman. In the now viral recording, the hulking what does hulking mean? Big?
Yeah.
Okay. The hulking suspect, publicly identified by cops Tuesday as 43-year-old Norton Blake, bashed Laurel Reynolds, 60, scores of times on her head, stomach, legs, arms, back, and hands as she fell to the ground at the West 116th Street and Lenox Avenue station at about 3:30 a.m. on Friday. A.M. Who's doing anything at 3:30 a.m.?
I don't know. Lori Lightfoot starts her Harvard tenure lecturing students on how to run a city and deal with the media during a crisis. Lori Lightfoot is gearing up to start her new role as a Harvard lecturer, teaching a course on leadership despite her hugely controversial time as Chicago mayor. The 61-year-old presided over 4 years dominated by soaring crime, war with the teachers' union, and police, and battles with the city council.
War crime column. Okay. Justice is dead. Proud Boys leader. What? Enrique. Sometimes Q is literally pronounced.
Yeah, Enrique. I don't know.
Enrique Taro, who was not even in Washington, D.C. on January 6th, sentenced to 22 years on, how do you say that?
Insidious
conspiracy from a neighboring town somewhere.
Oh.
On Tuesday, Enrique Taro was sentenced to 22 years in prison for running a, how do you say it? Insidious conspiracy from a different state somewhere. Enrique was not even in Washington, D.C. on January 6th.
Wow. New homicide stats are out and Mexican cities took a beating.
Wait, what's homicide again? Like the exact definition?
I don't remember the exact definition.
It was like just killing like a lot of people?
I think it is. I don't know enough. If it weren't bad enough that the cartels, who have been making record profits in the Biden years, have de facto control of the border and are terrorizing border towns to the point that our consulate is giving shelter-in-place orders to their staff, Mexico is now the murder capital of the world several times over. Wow.
Fun fact, do you know defenestration?
Yeah.
It's called that because the Latin word for windows fenestrate.
Okay.
Or something along those lines.
That makes sense.
So, you know.
Because the French word for window is very similar.
Yeah, so that's why.
In case anybody didn't know, defenestration is the act of throwing someone out a window.
Yeah, I'm assuming not many people knew that.
Maybe not, I don't know.
But I mean, random knowledge.
Maybe you learned a new word today.
Yeah,
if you did, congratulations.
Congratulations, you did a thing. Anyway. Rising tensions with Russia after talks with North Korea. State media threatens nuclear war against U.S. President Biden's national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, told reporters at the White House Tuesday morning that North Korea would pay a price if it goes through with an arms deal agreement with Russia. Sullivan stated that giving any weapons assistance to Russia is not going to reflect well on North Korea. They will pay a price for this in the international community.
Final one. China and Thailand. Now it actually makes sense. China, Thailand, and India hold talks with Myanmar junta. China has remained a major ally and arms supplier to the junta since the 2021 coup. At least 9 junta ministers flew to China over the past month for meetings. The deputy prime minister and planning and finance minister Wen Xin last week attended the quality conference hosted by China in Chengdu, where he invited investment in Myanmar's electricity and energy sectors. My brain is dead. I am a vegetable now. Anyways, that is all. Thank you for listening to Mia
And Maya. Read the Pull News Central homepage. Do all the good things.
And come back tomorrow for more Saturday news.